Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. I want to thank you for tuning in tonight. Tonight we welcome the producer. We all know the song "How We Roll," Sierra featuring Chris Brown. Well, the music producer Casey Phillips. He joins us tonight to talk about his career, moving to LA from Trinidad, and what he plans to do next. So we'll be talking to him during the show. Or mind you, rather watch us, go on our website. Go on our YouTube channel, Stephen Knight Show. But we're all over social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, you name it. Don't forget to check out our merch also on our website. All right, well, again, this is Hispanic Heritage Month. It's from September 15th to October 15th. And again, it's where we honor Hispanic and Latino community achievements, culture and contributions to the nation's history. It's also Indigenous Peoples Day. So shout out to all Indigenous people and Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So make sure you're doing what you have to do to stay safe and stay up on your health. Advocate for your health, like we talked about last week. And also make sure you register to vote. Make sure you register to vote because we do have some important elections coming up in the next year or so. So how are y'all doing? Linnea, Chike, how y'all feeling?
Blessed and highly favored.
Hallelujah.
Hola, ¿qué pasa, mi amigos?
Absolutely. All right, well, this is a good one. Question of the day. So I heard this on a show on Friday, and I thought it was an obvious answer, but apparently it's not. So the question is, what's worse, an emotional affair or a physical affair? I'll ask you, Linnea.
Emotional.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
I mean, both are bad.
Right.
Both are bad, but I think I can't. I feel like based off of what I've heard with most women, they'll forgive the physical, but it's the emotional attachment that they've created with the person that they've cheated with that kills them more. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, I caught an ex in the bed with a chick, so I had to put my hands on people. It's past statute of limitations.
Right.
So I'm good on that.
What are your thoughts, Chica?
I think two things can be true at the same time. And I think that for most women, it's emotional, and for men, it's physical. You can catch diseases and you can get pregnant from the physical, and you can fall in love from the emotional. So they're both bad. Don't do it.
Right. I'll read some of our comments. So Dwayne said emotional. Mia said both. What the F? Fernandez said physical. I don't care how you feel about somebody else. If you sleep with them, I'm going to jail. Joyce said both. Ayana said both. Will said there's the same. I guess there's the same. Cheating is cheating, period. Mm-hmm. Johnny said emotional. Don't be asking no ninja how their day was. Machida said both because I throw hands. The F. OD said both. Ronald said emotional. This other person said an affair, period. Someone said emotional. Someone I'm gonna say emotional. Ain't nothing worse than that someone you lose feelings for and catches them with someone else. Most folks can lay with anyone and it just be that. But when the heart's involved, that's the whole different story. I always thought it was emotional too, because that's your emotion, that's your heart, but someone did say sometimes, like especially for men, if we know that you've slept with someone else, it's hard for us to forget it. We see it in our mind. We always see it. So I don't know, but because my thing, emotional.
Please. Dudes be out here.
But as men, we are like that. That's how we are.
I know. But I'm just, it's crazy. The concept is you could have a dude cheat on his chick 99 times. The one time she cheat on him, it's like he feel like, somebody done walked on his white carpet with dirty shoes one time, but he's been out here stealing. He done.
Well, you remember Best Man, the Best Man movie?
Yeah.
And Mia cheated on her husband, and every time he just saw it.
They wasn't even married then. They were just boyfriend girlfriend. And he found out about it years later. He found out the wrong way. We already know how that played out.
Right.
it's just hilarious
Hypocrisy.
yeah, the hypocrisy of it all. Because
Right.
you had his thing in your mouth. Oh, did you?
All right.
You
Right.
like did you get asked all these questions? Like, sir, you really don't want to know. Like, what you doing? What you doing?
Right.
That's rough.
Well, tweet us and let us know what's worse, an emotional affair or a physical affair.
Mm.
All right, well, let's talk about what's going on in Israel. So at least this is from yesterday. At least 70 Israelis, how you say it? Anyway, have been reported dead, and over 985 other were left wounded after Palestine Islamic group Hamas launched a surprise attack against the southern Israel on Saturday. Now, according to reports, the Hamas militant fired thousands of rockets, invaded several Israel I don't is it Israeli towns, and took many hostages during the early morning attacks. Now, per CNN, the Hamas military commander Mohammed al-Deif said in a recorded message that the group targeted the enemy's positions, airports, and military positions with 5,000 rockets. He went on to say the attacks were in response to attacks on women and the desecration of their mosque in Jerusalem and ongoing siege in Gaza. Now, some of the things that I saw on CNN website, it says the Israel military is going on the offense against Hamas with force like never before. Their prime minister vowed Monday, more than 48 hours after a devastating surprise attack that left at least 900 people dead in Israel. In response, Israel has pounded the enclave with airstrikes. More than 680 Palestinians have been killed, according to Gaza's health ministry. Hamas said civilian hostages would be executed and the killings would be broadcasted if Israel targets people in Gaza without warning. The group claims to be holding more than 100 hostages, including Israel army officers. President Biden said that at least 11 Americans were killed in the Hamas attack, and there are others are likely being held hostage. So, this has been going on for 7 decades, they said. How they butt heads over, religious things. And they weren't expecting this attack, and it came out of nowhere. But I saw on another show, Joy Reid's show, they had an expert, and he said that they consider this their 9/11, and that it's the intelligence mess up pretty much, that they didn't see this coming, because the attack this massive, they should have had intelligence to predict it. So what do you, and then it's already hit close to home here in the United States, where anti-Semitic threats have gone up. I saw one of the temples they had a death threat. They had to be evacuated, and people are arguing on both sides in the streets all over the country. So what are your thoughts when you saw this, when you see this, so many people die, 980, 680 in another country? What are your thoughts on this, Linnea?
I really haven't dove into it, and the first thing that I saw, I couldn't even finish it. It was a father holding his baby, but the baby was dead.
Yeah.
So interesting, that we're talking about this, because I just started watching Designated Survivor on Netflix. And I'm always looking for shows to watch, not only as, a consumer, but as a creative. And diving into this show, they're in the midst of going to war. And it's amazing how these things start. And the intelligence that they have circulating, just looking at the show, they know stuff before they know stuff. Like, there's an inkling, there's something, there's chatter. So for this to have happened, and I don't know how long they've been going back and forth, but it's just, I don't know about y'all, but stuff just seems never ending. We're just in a constant cycle of, I hate to say shit, but that's what it seems like.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. What are your thoughts, Shika?
My prayers go out to everyone involved in the Middle East. From the images that I saw from last night and this morning were horrific. You know, people just being snatched out of other people's arms and
Mm-hmm.
taken away. Uh, People missing family members. I mean, because I think they were having a festival and they raided the
Yeah.
festival. Yeah.
Yeah.
And people were at peace, having fun, enjoying themselves outside in the music, and then all of a sudden, you know, a whole attack happened. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it's easy to say that's over there, but I want people to really understand that we're all connected. And what happens over there does affect us over here. Some way,
Mm-hmm.
shape, or form, it does affect us over here. And
Yeah.
so, with the disruptions that are happening over there, um, we're having our own disruptions here.
Yeah.
And it should make people thankful for what civility we do have, even though things are crazy here.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to be.
Right.
And if we don't want to be like that, we need to get our shit together
Mm-hmm.
now.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
that's how I feel about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, definitely our thoughts and prayers for everyone involved. I saw this one story. This woman, she lives there. She's American. She lives there with her family, her husband and her son. And she was on the phone with her father, who lives here, when her and her husband were killed. And the son was shot, but the mom jumped in front of the bullet, and the bullet went through her to the son, but he's expected to recover. He's to make a full recovery, but his mom saved his life after she
Mm.
already been shot. So, and then can you imagine her dad was on the phone when all this happened? He
What's
heard it.
amazing to me is all of this is in the name of religion, so it's in the name of
Right,
God. Like, seriously?
right,
Seriously.
exactly,
that's
exactly.
why I said it seems like it's a bunch of nonsense, because you have to use a lie in order to justify your foolishness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, again, our thoughts and prayers. Let's switch gears. So for All the Dogs album, its fourth in 3 years dropping, Drake is now announcing that he's planning to go on a brief hiatus to prioritize his health and wellness. Toronto-bred artist made his announcement during an episode of SiriusXM's Table for One series that premiered this past Friday. After reflecting on his album, he abruptly revealed that I probably won't make music for a little bit. I'm going to be honest, I got some other things I need to do for some other people that I've made promises to, but probably won't be making music for a bit. He further explained that I need to focus on my health first and foremost. While he didn't go too much into detail, he acknowledged that he's been having some gastrointestinal issues. He said, I've been having the craziest problem for years with my stomach, and I need to focus on my health. I need to get right, and I'm going to do that. He said, I'm going to lock the door in the studio for a little bit. And he went on to say probably for a year or something. He said it could be a little bit longer. He said, I need to get right and have a lot of things that I would love to focus on. So I'm going to lock the doors to the studio for a little bit. I don't even know what a little bit is, maybe a year or something, maybe a little bit longer. Now, after he made the announcement, some people took to the shade room and commented. Someone said, good for him. He works hard and deserves to focus on his mental health. Another person said, after that album, he probably needs to take a break. So Drake's album dropped October 6th. Again, it's called For All the Dogs. As mentioned, this development comes on the heels of him unveiling his latest studio album. The 23-song project features big name which includes 21 Savage, J. Cole, Sexy Red, Chief Keef, and even more SZA, who, she's on that controversial Spark song, Slime You Out, the one that Halle Berry didn't like her being on the cover for. While discussing this project on Table for One, Drake shared a cryptic answer regarding the energy behind For All the Dogs. He said, how can I describe the album to you? I'll keep it short and sweet. Please don't ask me what I feel if you can't handle the real. That's it. So there are some controversy. I think I saw something where he could have been kind of shading Rihanna on one of the songs, and that kind of anyway. So Chicky, let me ask you, do you think this is good that he's taking a break? You know, he's been putting out a lot of music consistently and to focus on his health and other things he wants to do?
Whatever's good for Drake, whatever he feels like he needs to do, then that's what he needs to do. Full disclosure, I'm not really a Drake fan, but I wish him well, and I wish everyone mental wellness. And if he has issues going on with his health, he definitely should take care of that. That's primo. Take care of that first.
Yeah. Lanier?
God bless.
God bless. Get better, Drake. All right. Well, Real Housewives of Potomac. So one of the stars, Mia Thornton, the estranged husband, Gordon Thornton, says that he believes that she married him only for money. So we were all shocked when we found out they had separated. Well, if you watch the show, you're surprised. But in a recent interview with TMZ, Gordon reveals that he's given Mia permission to be with another man because he knew that he wouldn't be able to satisfy her sexually due to his age. Now, he's currently 71, and he recently had prostate cancer surgery. He says that despite giving her a pass, Mia continued to sneak around, lie, change her story while she's leaving him. According to Gordon, Mia told him that this new man, Mr. Man, is her soulmate, and they plan on buying a house and do business together. He believes that Mia is ultimately leaving him because of his financial troubles and in this new relationship based on money. I did see the interview he did, some of it, and he said that pretty much he gave her a pass. He said, the only thing I say is don't let it be open to everybody knowing that you're messing with someone else. Don't let me see it, and don't let our kids be involved. Let our kids have anything to do with it. But he said that she sees this new guy as a come up because of his financial situation right now. And he said that, but if they were to get back together, it would just be solely based on co-parenting for the kids, not for any love, because he said that he's done with her. So I believe she's probably in her early 40s now. I know she was 36 when she first came on the show. But Linnea, he gave her a pass. He said you can have another man. But now she's left him for this guy who's her soulmate, she says. So what are your thoughts? Is she doing the right thing? Do you think she saw him as a come up and now sees other guys a come up? What are your thoughts?
You are asking a woman who can't stand reality shows.
I know our actress can't.
I can't stand reality shows. I can't stand these pretentious people. It's all a storyline. Period. It's all a storyline. Meant to draw in so they can get this viewership. If that's what you chose to do, I never understand why choose to get married? Why drag the union of marriage into your foolishness then to that's the part that I never understand. Y'all can have an arrangement and not be married, but then you create little people. Mm-hmm. And then you have these little people grow up into the dysfunction that you call your family. So then they learn, well, this is what mommy does, and this is what daddy does. Mm-hmm. And then they think that it's okay. And then you're on TV acting a plumb fool, and you're being projected a certain way. And it's just like, yeah, no. You know what? God bless y'all. Godspeed. I'm done.
And kids are always watching, and they have young kids. Kids are always watching. So even if she wasn't doing it in front of the kids, they'll figure it out. Kids are very smart, and they're always watching. Chicken, what are your thoughts on this?
Kids aren't the only one watching. You have some adults out here that are very impressionable, and they want to be like these people that are on TV because they're children themselves. Mm-hmm. You have a lot of grown people around here that aren't fully developed. Mm-hmm. And they look toward these people who so-called have money and have the clout and have the influence and want to follow and do what they do.
Yeah.
If If you can't be together and you can't be together in a proper way, why play around with it? You're giving someone a pass. If you're doing the thing and you're doing the thing well and you're getting it good, emotions do spark up from that. So what's the point in being married and doing that when the person's going to stray away from you anyway? Just separate and go about your own way. If you married the man for money, shame on you. And some people might not think that that's a shame. Oh, she has a come up, but that's that mentality of those people that are very impressionable. I don't like people that have a platform and they do stupid things.
Mm.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, so she was a stripper.
I'm sorry.
And
Well,
he
there you
met
go.
her at
I'm sorry.
he met her at the strip club. He was a successful businessman, and he put her in charge of a lot of his businesses. And so her whole lifestyle changed. And so now what he's saying is she's making her own money. And so she really doesn't need him anymore. And this other guy, he's making money. And so that's why she saw her out.
Oh, what you thought was she needed you, bro. No, she used you. And you was a goofball for thinking that you can go on, do what you did with the type of person that you did it with and not expect what you got. You was just the first pit stop, homie. She's on to the next.
This sounds like another storyline, and it sounds like the storyline of a famous comedian who married a certain woman, and this woman is basically doing the same thing to him, and they trying to put the dirt under the rug like that. That's not what's really going on, but it's exactly the same storyline.
And it's a 30-year this couple, a 30-year age difference. So, and he had prostate surgery, so he can't.
And then you're putting all of this on national TV.
Yeah, right.
Dingleberries.
Like you never mind. I said God bless you and Godspeed on it.
God bless them.
I hope your checks are worth it.
Right, exactly. I was thinking about it. It was some reality people, one of the shows they were interviewing, and they were saying how the anxiety they get from being on the show, like having to be in situations they wouldn't usually be in. And that's why you see some that they abuse alcohol really bad. They're drunk on the show and things like that. I can imagine they would say all money ain't good money. All money ain't good money. And so anyway, we'll leave that there. Well, according to TMZ, remember that alert that went out if you have an iPhone, you got this alert last Wednesday? Well, some inmates got busted after the nationwide emergency alert went off on Wednesday. The outlet says that New York officials confiscated 2 phones at the Sing Sing Correctional Facility. They said that 2 were confiscated from a correctional facility in Florida as well. It's not known how many phones were confiscated nationwide, as some inmates with phones may not have known about the alert before it happened. What do you think? Can you imagine you thought you done snuck that phone and then it goes off? Chicken, what your thoughts on this?
So, Lanier can tell you, I, for one, am a TikTok lurker, and one of my favorite things to watch is the prison TikToks, because it just amazes me and it pisses me off at the same time. You committed a crime, and you have this item of luxury, and they're making food, they're filming it as if they're on the outside. They have their whole cell tricked out like it's a studio apartment on my dime. I'm paying for this. You committed a crime. Why do you get to do this? How? It really, really boils me, but I'm drawn to it like a moth to a flame because I want to understand. And they're getting Chick-fil-A. How are you able to get Chick-fil-A inside the jail?
Right.
So somebody has to facilitate and help you. You're getting full on groceries. Like people's cells like loaded with food, and they're cooking. They're having parties. They're using the bottom bunk as a grill. Like it's crazy. But anyway, the phone is how we find out about all this stuff. How do you have a phone?
You forgot they're having fashion shows too.
Say what?
They're having fashion shows too.
Yes, they're having fashion shows. I shared some videos with Lanier. but also they're making money because they're telling these girls to send money to their Cash App. So they're making money with the phone that we pay for.
And how you
Right.
get Cash App in jail though? Because you would have to have a bank account.
They
Yep.
could probably have a bank account.
How is that working? So
They're
there's
doing it.
there's like a conveyor belt of assistance going on here. Because
Right.
It has to be.
it has to be, but you know, we're not going to state the obvious. But I know that inmates they get stuff smuggled in all the time,
Mhm. Mhm.
all the time, and most of the time it ain't by outside people.
No, no. There was the woman here in Atlanta. She got locked up. She worked at the jail and she was smuggling in drugs and I want to say a gun, but I know it was drugs for sure. She was bringing it in and she got caught. She got caught uh, and was arrested. But then I also watched this 2020 special Friday where remember the woman who took he was like a 6'9" guy, 6'7" guy. She took him to a mental health facility and then she ended up dead and he was on the run for a while. This is like
Yes.
Mhm.
they had the same last name. Anyway, they found out she was having an affair with him. And they said that she was a decorated person that worked there. Everyone loved her, and no one believed it. No one believed it because of who she was and how responsible she was. But it was interesting. There was this woman that went to jail for doing the same thing years ago, and she said that she could see how it happened. She said she was married for like 20 years, and she had kids and everything, and then she just found herself wanting more, and she met this guy in jail. Same
There's a
thing.
thing. There's a
Wait.
thing about. It's called a thing. It's
Wait.
stigmatized.
Wait, you can't say you want more from a mofo who can't give it to you outside of the peen.
Right.
Period. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And in a majority of the stories that I hear, if it ain't the dude CEOs getting the female inmates pregnant, it's a female CEO getting pregnant by a male inmate.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, how do you jeopardize your livelihood and your life in that capacity for somebody that's in there that is manipulating the system and only using you, but you too stupid to realize? Like that blows my mind.
Yeah.
So I think the component for people that commit crimes, that deterrent of going to jail is not there because life is better for some people on the inside than it is on the outside. They can function better on the inside. They're not missing anything. They're getting money, they're getting food, they're getting clothes, they're getting sex, they're getting everything that they want and need on the inside.
Yep.
And they got paid no bills.
Nope.
None whatsoever. But
no, we do. We
do.
Right.
Matter of fact, we're supporting you while you're in there. So I mean, like, I guess it's a party. It's a party. And people tend to go back. Stephen, before we hop off, can I just give a shout out?
Absolutely.
I don't know this particular group personally, but I just want to send a shout out to the Fearless Fund, Ari and Simone, and the beautiful women of the Fearless Fund who are in a fight right now with this Bloom dude who was responsible for the whole getting affirmative action. Yeah. And he is trying to take out the Fearless Fund, which is responsible for helping women of color get some type of capital for their businesses so they can run their businesses. And he's targeting them now. And they are they're standing fast and strong. And I just want to give them a shout out. They're all beautiful. And I just wish them and send them all the prayers and all the love, because they're going to need it. Because what people don't understand is that people always say things that what they feel like don't affect them. If this keeps going the way that it does, we're not going to have HBCUs. We're not going to have, it's not going to be pretty. And it's been in our faces and people just choose to keep ignoring it. And I get what's going on over the world, but right here, they really want to take us back and strip us of everything.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, I saw the video you shared. That was very important. But real quick, this wasn't part of our hot topics, but I want your opinion on this. Someone shared this video with me. There was a student. She was 7 years old.
Oh,
she was in school, and she had an AKA T-shirt. White girl, white student. And when she came home from school, she had a different shirt on. And the teacher emailed or sent a letter back with the student explaining why she shouldn't be wearing an AKA shirt. And the teacher was an AKA and said that we allow people to just wear it unless they're part of the organization. And so the angle was there are different things to the story. One, is it race related? Because they do have some white AKAs, but majority are black. And then was this teacher out of line for having the girl change her shirt instead of just reaching out to her mom directly and just telling her, hey, explain it to her? I'll ask you, Lanier, real quick. What are your thoughts on that?
That little girl don't know what an AKA is.
No.
And I saw the shirt. It said AKA 1908 and it had the colors. Obviously there was an avenue for her mother to be able to buy that shirt for her. Mm-hmm. And I think that I've seen that somewhere, but I think that the teacher was overzealous because it wasn't her disrespecting. She don't know.
Right.
If you felt that there was an issue, then maybe you should have had a conversation with her parent. But at the same time, that could also mean also known as far as like anybody else is concerned. Not everybody knows what an AKA is. Right. So I think she kind of was overzealous. I get that you want to represent, but maybe you should have had a conversation because that little girl doesn't understand that. Doesn't understand it at all. And so she didn't buy the shirt. Somebody bought it for her. Right. So yeah. I just thought it was, I think she was overzealous in that decision. And I heard that she made her take it off in the class. Mm-hmm. So that alone, you want her to take it off, even though you was wrong, don't have her do it in front of the class. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So,
yeah, shaming a student. What are your thoughts, Chica?
I agree with Lanier, and I think that people need to tone it down, take it down. Everybody is hypersensitive about stuff. Stop it. Stop. She should have addressed it with the parent.
Right. Yeah.
It's really not that big of an issue. It's a friggin' shirt. I get what it stands for, but it's a friggin' shirt, and that's a child.
Right. Who obviously knew nothing what AKA was. And her mom didn't even really know what AKA was.
She said the shirt was
so hypersensitive.
She said it was pretty. She said, I thought it was pretty.
Yeah.
So where was she at to even be able to buy something like that? You need to take that up. Where was she got it?
Exactly.
It's almost like, did you ever see the video with the boy that wore the McDonald's shirt to school, but it really wasn't a McDonald's shirt? It was the open legs. It was like open legs, and he wore it to school. And they said, you went to school, and he was like, yeah. And he said, it says McDonald's, but it wasn't McDonald's.
Oh, baby.
Oh,
no.
He didn't know.
No, he didn't.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, listen, Lanier, thank you so much for Hot Topics. Chica, I'll see you in movie reviews. When we come back, our interview with Casey Phillips right back after this.